I mean, just look at this place. I've got my paints, my watercolour paints. I've got my sketch pad, I've got my paintbrush. And look at the colours. The colours are just absolutely gorgeous. All these different leaves, all these different colours. So I'm going to match them with what I've got in my paint set and do a painting. And I don't even know which way to do it because everywhere is so gorgeous. I might do two. Look what look what the road's called. Artist Lane. So I've gathered some of the different coloured leaves and I'm matching them up to what I've got in my set, my paint set. And I'm doing washes. This is the second painting in Alderley Edge. I did one last week as well. And that one was from looking at the path just underneath the edge, whereas this one's looking into the woods down the opposite side from where I was last week. But I wanted to grab it and do a second one because winter's nearly here and I wanted to grab one, the sunshine, and two, the gorgeous colours of the trees while they're still there, because I know in another week or two they'll all have dropped off the trees. So I'm doing a wash. Last time I drew the picture first and I did an outline because it had quite a structure that I wanted, which was the path leading up and the two posts at the top of it, whereas this one is more of a it's more of a just a general forest. So I'm just doing wet on wet here without any drawing at all. I'm just literally painting directly onto the paper and just adding to it as I go. Every now and again I'll stop and wait for a bit to dry, but mostly I'm just painting wet on wet and basically making it up as I go along. So I'm trying to create an idea of depth here, looking into the distance, and I'm making the trees slightly darker. Everything's paler in the distance and less pigmented, and I'm gradually adding more and more pigment as I get closer to try and give it more depth. And so I'm putting more layers of paint on for the ones that are closer to me to try and create the idea of walking through the forest to that end point where I've put the yellow, which is the setting sun, and the orange is the leaves on the floor. And I mean, I haven't got exactly the colours in my palette that I'm looking for, but I've got enough colours that will create the idea of autumn, which is what I'm trying to recreate. So I'm putting the strongest pigments closest to me so that it looks as though they're near and things are getting hazy in the distance. And then I've got the bright yellow at the end, which is a hot colour to try and attract the eye. So the eye should hopefully go to the nearby pigmented trees, then follow the red path down into the distance and towards the setting sun. So now I've got to think about how to get the leaves on there, and I'm just going to go for sort of block colours to create. I want to create the effect of autumn rather than a realistic painting. I just want to capture it in one sitting. So I'm just going for some of the bright colours of autumn that I can see, because they are so gorgeous this year. Last year, lots of green everywhere, and then they fell off. This year, it's oranges and reds and golds. Absolutely beautiful. All the colours that you could hope for in an autumn scene, they're right here. But it's so fleeting. So we've obviously had just the right situation this year. So here's my painting. It's the woods. It's on Artist Lane in Alderley Edge, the opposite end from where I was last week. This isn't the same painting as the one I did last week. It might look similar, but that's because I've used the same sets of colours, and it is in the same woods, but at a different end. So I'm trying to add a few shadows and undergrowth to give depth to the woods. And then I'm going to leave it there because it's not about realism, it's just about capturing autumn. And then the next one I'll do is probably capturing winter. Winter, I'll find probably a sunset to do and maybe some bleak, stark trees silhouetted against a beautiful sunset, something like that. And if I go out in the cold, maybe I can capture some ice crystals on the actual paint pad. So Alderley Edge, if you don't know it, it's in Cheshire. It's about 20 miles outside of Manchester, and it's one of the most beautiful places, and it's got a lot of mythology. It's supposed to be linked to King Arthur. There's a book, The Weird Stone of Brisingamen, that was written about it. Pendragon is supposed to have links here, and it has a well, it has a wizard tree, it has caves. It's wonderful. It's an absolutely beautiful place. And at the moment, it's steeped in the colours of autumn. And I'm just so lucky to live nearby. It's within cycling distance. But I come in my camper van because I like to have a little jaunt out in my Volkswagen Transporter camper van from 1974 because it needs to get out there. So here's my finished painting. I hope you like it. Why not come with me next time and do a painting outdoors? Here's my painting.